Hello viewers, Super GT here. Welcome to some more online league gameplay in Forza 6. So this one is this week's V8 Supercar League around nighttime Spa. So I've gone for the Mercedes number 9 here, and it seems to be a very popular choice for this league. So around Lassau's hairpin, we've got some contact on the right hand side there, and a couple of guys have lost a couple of positions. And I'm through into 15th as we approach Eau Rouge now. It's going to get very interesting here. In the night, there's a couple of guys off on the left. That's another 2 positions. And I see more smoke over there on the left-hand side now. It was on the right before he went flying off. And I'm through into 8th. I was about 20th on the grid, making the most of everyone's buffoonery to gain 12 positions. Thank you very much, guys. Now that is going to make my race a hell of a lot easier if I can get that many positions that quickly. Now the thing about racing at night, well, where do we start? It's really very tricky to judge. Now the advantage of this viewpoint is that you can judge the oversteer and the understeer quite easily. Now it's really hard to see your car in this viewpoint when it's night, so it makes it quite a lot harder. And also your eyesight begins to disappear pretty much. I start going blind by lap 6, so don't be surprised if I start turning a bit rubbish towards the end of the race, where my eyes pretty much start dying out. As we come through the P1 corner, I'm just going to nudge this guy from behind, and I'm going to have to back out now and let him go ahead. I'm not going to make the most of that. So he retained 7th position. We are being quickly caught though by the guy in 9th, so I do have to be very careful here. I go a bit wide through the chicane here, but I'm getting back online to try and size up a move into 7th position. This guy ahead, not the quickest of drivers, but I'm just trying to be as patient as I can realistically be. This section here, not really the best for overtaking as we come uphill now towards Blanchimont, a very tricky corner in these types of cars. In Formula 1 these days it's kind of just a flat out corner, but in these cars it's a lot more of a challenge, and it's very hard to get around there full throttle. Just about not managing there. Go a little bit wide on the exit, but that's not too bad as we head into the final chicane. What is going to go down here? Now I'm on the brakes just about okay, and as we go in, I've just been smashed from behind quite badly, so I'm going to lose 2 positions, but thankfully didn't get damage from that somehow. Simulation damage is on in this lobby, so it's expecting to have a trip to the pit lane there. At least it happened on the chicane where I could have just dived into the pit lane straight away if I had to, but luckily no damage that requires fixing at this moment. Some guy's going backwards there, I don't know what the hell he's doing. Clearly not with the whole game here. You may be going the same direction as all the other drivers, but he obviously hasn't got the memo. So we come through Eau Rouge here. Now these 2 guys clearly having a bit of a misunderstanding here. He's going to come back onto the track, they're going to make contact, and I'll get my 2 positions back. Thank you very much for those, very much appreciated. So moving ahead to the end of the same lap, so lap number 2, coming up to Blanchimont here. We've caught up, so it's pretty much deja vu from lap 1 now, and we come through and we're going to get right on his tail, just getting a little bit too much throttle there and have to back out. It's going to cover the inside slightly. Thankfully no one's going to ram us from behind this time, so I'm going to bail into the pit lane this lap. So it's a 2 lap stint there, and it's going to be a 4 lap stint following this pit stop to the end of the race. A bit of oversteer on the exit there, so traction control not on here, so let's see what we can do. We're in 9th position now. Hopefully in that pit stop I can jump that guy who I was stuck behind. That would dispatch 1 person at least, trying my best to stay on within the track limits as we go over the top of Eau Rouge, now down the Kemmel Straight, a very long straight at Spa. Probably the best overtaking opportunity on the lap as we head into the chicane here. The right, left, right, quite a tricky complex here, but I like to come out this one on the left hand side, unlike the guy ahead, because doing that, doing what I did, gives you a better line through the right hander as we head downhill. And as you can see on the brakes, a lot later than this guy. He's left a sizable gap on the inside, so I can go for a slight move there, but he is going to have the inside line for the left hander here. as we head downhill. So he's going to retain 8th position for now, but I'm going to be certainly looking for any sort of mistake. This isn't the kind of corner you want to go for a move on, and I go a little bit wide. I follow him wide, kind of guilty of following the other driver off, and as he rejoins, he just about stays ahead. I'm going to go for a move into the chicane, just about get it done, park it on the apex. He can't really do anything about that. I'm just going to block him off completely, and I've retained the position in 8th there. Now that is a key aspect of overtaking, making sure you don't overshoot your marker basically, and keep on the racing line. So that was lap number 3. We're going to move to the start of 5. Into the last horse hairpin, we've got 1/3 of the race remaining. I'm in my favourite position, and we've just had a guy come out of the pit lane, which is going to create a sizable gap there, but I will have the momentum as he was slow out of the pit lane. So through Eau Rouge, I'm going to follow him wide, taking 2 wheels onto the grass, but as you can see, here is that extra momentum, caught up quite a sizable gap as we come down the Camel Straight. Going to maximise slipstream down here, and as we approach the turn, he's obviously decided that I'm too far back to go for a move, and he was right. Very well judged there, moving to the normal racing line. As we come through, I'm going to try and get to the left hand side a bit more than he does, and I'm going to get a better run going downhill now. He's again gone to the inside, but I'm going to brake ever so slightly later, go for a great move around the outside, just holding station here, giving just about enough room on the inside to manoeuvre. But this gives me the inside now for the left-hander, and I've got around the outside there. Now that is honestly one of the best moves I think I've done in a long time. I was really pleased with that one. Just giving him enough room on the inside so that he can actually move, but then just keeping it so close that it really makes him, it gives him a tricky situation there basically, and just about getting the job done. So yeah, really pleased with that one. Now I'll go a little bit wide here, but we can cut back for a late apex to give us a better line through the left-hander. So we are through now into 5th. 4th place, he's just found the corner ahead. It's going to be tough to catch up because the drivers in this Pinnacle League are typically very good, especially towards the front. So it isn't very easy to catch up a gap of, let's say, a couple of 100 feet within one lap, unless these guys start making mistakes and smashing each other off, which you never know, probably could happen. But through this one, I'm going to make the mistake this time, and there's a guy going backwards once again. So I'm on the back foot now. I did have a decent gap. I did build a gap between myself and that guy who I just overtook on this corner on the previous lap. So I pretty much put myself under pressure unnecessarily for the rest of the race towards the end. I guess I was pushing too much to get that 4th position, which in all fairness was probably unrealistic. He was probably too far ahead, and I was never really going to catch up. So now it is a battle to defend this 5th position, hooking up for a very early apex and get on the throttle very early and then power yourself out to the outside. That is a really good line through that turn to get yourself on the throttle very early and into the final chicane. This is going to be the end of the race. Coming through the chicane here, keeping all 4 wheels firmly within the white lines as per, not very usual. But then we are going to cross the line in 5th, which is quite good for that race, given I started at the back. And a very pleasing overtake. That overtake, I was really pleased with that. Just about managing to get around the outside, giving me the inside for the next corner. And it's that kind of thing you have to think about when overtaking. Sometimes it's best just to get alongside so you have the inside for the next turn. There are the results. And a quick bonus clip. This is how not to start a V8 Supercars race around Bernie's Alps. So we're going to come downhill here. This is lap 1 of 8. Simulation damage is on, remember. And I forced myself down the inside there, and bang! That guy has absolutely gone flying. And then that invisible wall has saved my life, and I'm just going to barrel roll and get some pretty bad damage there. But that is a good example of how not to start a race. And that is going to close off this video. I hope you have enjoyed it, guys. Hit that like button as per usual. Subscribe if you haven't done so already and you'd like to see more of the same. And I hope to see you in my next one. Goodbye.